Okay, year 11. So this is the next one in the series of Maths 9-box revision sessions. As always, what I'd like you to do, can you please begin by trying all 9 questions? So give all 9 a good go. Try not to leave any out. Do as well as you can. And then once you've had a go at all 9, I'd like you to press play, and then I'll talk you through how you answer each of those. Okay, so I think you've had enough time. Number 1, estimate. Now, as long as you're confident in remembering some of the key facts, when we're estimating, all we want to do, we want to underline the first number in each of them that isn't a 0 and round to those. So the 3, which I've underlined, is in the hundreds column. So 321 rounds to 300. 1.8, well, the 1 is underlined, and that is in the units column. So to the nearest unit, the nearest whole number, 1.8 becomes 2. And then the next one, the 5, don't forget, I didn't underline the 0, so I underlined the first number that isn't a 0. The 5 is in the tenths column, so that rounds to 0.5. Well, 3 times 2 is 600. 600 divided by 0.5. So how many 0.5s go into 600? The answer is 1,200. But don't forget, in the exam, you would have got a mark for getting that bit there written out clearly, and obviously your marks for getting to the actual answer itself. So get all those workings written down, show what you've rounded it to, and pick up as many marks as you possibly can. Question 2, indices. Just got to learn some rules here. We're getting quite good at them. I think most of you are there now. Anything to the power of 1 is itself. So x to the power of 1 is x. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's to the power of 0, the answer is 1. And the last one, you've got y cubed times y squared. When we're multiplying, we add the powers together, so we get y to the power of 5. Moving on to the next one, find the volume. If you're unsure on this one, there is a video on finding the volumes of different 3D shapes as well. But the first thing I'm going to do is find the area of the cross section. So the area of the face that runs all the way through it. Well, the area of this face here, the one I've shaded in blue, is 10 centimeters squared by doing 2 by 5. So 2 times 5 is 10 centimeters squared because it's a rectangle. And then I'm going to multiply it by how far back it goes. So 10 centimeters squared multiplied by 6 gives me a volume of 60 centimeters cubed. Do not forget those units. When we're talking about area, it's centimeters squared, meters squared, millimeters squared, and so on. When it's volume, millimeters cubed, centimeters cubed, meters cubed if necessary. Number 4, sharing in a ratio. So share £80 in the ratio 4 to 3 to 1. So the first thing we do is add the parts together. We've got 4 parts, 3 parts, and 1 part, which is a total of 8 parts. Well, if I'm sharing out £80, to find out what each part is worth, I do 80 divided by those 8 parts, which gives me 10. Then it's nice and easy. We've got each part's worth 10. That person there's got 4 parts, so they've got 4 lots of 10, which is 40. The next one's got 3 lots of 10, which is 30. And the last person's got 1 lot of 10, which is 10. So 40 to 30 to 10, obviously that would be pound signs. So £40, £30 and £10. If we add it all up, we get £80, so we know we're correct. Okay, factorising is the opposite of expanding, so we're going back into brackets. So I've drawn my grid out already, and I just need to work out what goes here. So what goes into both 8x squared and 12x? Start with the number. What number goes into 8 and 12? The answer is 4. Then we look at the letters. This one's got x squared in. That one's just got an x in, so I can put an x there as well. 4x times what makes 8x squared? Well, 4 times 2 is 8. X times x is x squared. 4 times 3 is 12. And I already have an x in both, so that's absolutely fine. So to factorise it, it is 4x brackets 2x plus 3. Find angle A and give reasons. Well, these two here is key. It's an isosceles triangle. And the first reason I'd have written down on the paper is base angles in an isosceles triangle are equal. So that means that that one and that one there are equal. The next rule I'd have written down is angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Well, if this angle here is 20, it means that this one here and this one here must add up to 160, meaning they are both 80 degrees. Finally, angles on a straight line add up to 180. So 80 plus what makes 180? So A must equal 100 degrees. Get those rules written down. As I said, isosceles triangle, base angles are equal. Angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And angles on a straight line add up to 180. Question 7, Pythagoras. Soon you see it, right angle triangle. We draw our squares onto every single side, don't we? So the area of this one is 9. The area of this one is 81. Now don't forget, Pythagoras says the area of the two smaller squares equals the area of the larger square. And the larger square is always opposite the right angle. So this side here is part of the larger square. So the larger square is 81. So in that case, the two smaller squares, the 9 plus this one, need to add up to 81. So the area of that square there is 72. So to find what x is, we do the square root of 72. So obviously you would get that typed in on your calculator. So we've got the square root of 72, which to one decimal place will be 8.5 centimetres. So it's 8.5 centimetres. Number 8, find the circumference. Key here, we are given the radius. So the radius is 4. Well, the circumference is pi times diameter. It's pi d, isn't it? So that's how we find the circumference. Well, I know the radius is 4. Well, if r is 4, then the diameter must be 8. So the circumference is pi times 8, and pi times 8 is 25.1 centimetres squared. Don't forget centimetres squared because it's an area. Finally, solving an equation. I want to get x by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 6 onto both sides. So it gives me 8x equals 20. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 8 to get x by itself. 20 divided by, if you're unsure on how to divide it, obviously you could use the bus stop, but the answer is 2.5. We can check it. 8 times 2.5 is 20. Take away 6 is 14. So we've checked it and we know that we've got it correct. Again, as always, thanks so much for taking the time to work through it. It will pay off in the long run. If there is any specific topics you want me to do a video on, please just shout and I'll get those done for you as well. Good luck with your revision. Keep working hard. The exam's just around the corner.